What if I told you that our history books have it all wrong? That everything we think we know about our past is just a tiny fraction of a much grander and frankly, more terrifying story. We look at the pyramids, at Stonehenge, and we marvel at the ingenuity of ancient peoples. But what if they weren't just clever builders? What if our ancestors were far more advanced than we could ever imagine? So advanced, in fact, that they held the power to create and to destroy on a cosmic scale. There's a fringe theory, a whisper in the halls of alternative history, that suggests we are not the first intelligent, technologically capable civilization to walk this planet. Not by a long shot. This idea, known as the Silurian hypothesis, asks a simple question. If an industrial civilization existed millions of years ago, what traces would it leave behind for us to find today? The answer is, surprisingly, very little. Over geological timescales, cities would crumble to dust, plastics would degrade, and even our most massive structures would be swallowed by the earth. So, the theory goes that long before humanity ever dreamed of forging steel or splitting the atom, other beings rose to prominence on this very planet. They built empires, they reached for the stars, and then they vanished. Why? Well, that's where the story takes a dark turn. Some researchers and theorists point to strange anomalies in the geological record, unexplained isotopes in ancient rock layers, and myths from cultures all around the world that speak of gods waging war in the heavens with unimaginable weapons. They look at ancient texts, like the Sanskrit epics of India, which describe flying machines called Vajra, and weapons capable of leveling entire armies, sounding eerily like modern descriptions of aircraft and nuclear devices. They see it in the vitrified forts of Scotland, ancient stone walls fused into glass by a heat so intense it defies conventional explanation. The most common thread in these theories is conflict. A great ancient war, or perhaps a series of wars, that not only wiped out these advanced civilizations but left the planet scarred, forcing a reset button on life itself. But the theory doesn't stop with Earth. What if this cycle of creation and destruction wasn't limited to our world? Look to our celestial neighbor, Mars. Today, it's a cold, dead, irradiated rock, but evidence strongly suggests it was once a world with a thick atmosphere, with rivers, lakes, and vast oceans, a world very much like our own. Some theories propose that Mars wasn't the victim of a natural catastrophe, it was murdered. They point to unusual concentrations of certain radioactive elements in the Martian atmosphere, like Xenon 129, which on Earth are a signature of nuclear explosions. The idea is that an ancient interplanetary war took place in our solar system. A war so devastating it shattered an entire planet, maybe one that existed where the asteroid belt is now, and rendered Mars uninhabitable. Earth, too, might have been a casualty, its biosphere shattered, its advanced civilizations wiped out, leaving only a handful of survivors to begin the slow climb back from the Stone Age. We became the inheritors of a ruined world, suffering from a collective amnesia, with only faint, distorted memories of a glorious, terrible past. So why does any of this matter? It's more than just a wild story. If this cycle of rise and fall, of technological advancement followed by self-destruction is real, then it is the most important lesson history has to offer. It reframes our entire existence. We aren't the pinnacle of evolution on this planet, we are just the latest chapter in a very long, and possibly repeating, story. It forces us to look at our own world, at our own conflicts, our own technologies, and ask a deeply unsettling question. Are we just the next civilization in line, barreling toward the same catastrophic end as all those who came before us? Are we doomed to repeat the mistakes of a past we can't even remember? The clues might be buried beneath our feet, or written in the stars, just waiting for us to finally understand the warning. Thanks for watching.